What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? Dave Van Auken Show. Man, not even the Bare Knuckle FC breakout superstar, not even Killa Bee. Probably my favorite way to introduce Taylor to me is my friend, Taylor Starling. How you doing, Tay?
Best friends. I'm good. How are you?
I know it's been years. Like we put in the work now. We put in that time.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking the other day about how when I was kind of on a break, trying to like figure my life out, and like you still like called me every other day, like made sure I was straight and just talked to me just as a friend. So
Right.
that meant a lot to me. So like to see where we're going, like it's just really cool.
It is. It was cool. Like seeing you at Bare Knuckle FC 18, and like now you're a superstar. You're a Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship superstar, and I'm like just keep on escalating, ascending a little bit. It's like we talked like 2 years ago, and it was just like this small thing, but it's like that's how it works. Like that's the grind. I feel like people who win and people who want to get to where they go, we grind. We're grinders. We're just going to get there. That's just who we are.
Absolutely. We're determined people.
For sure. So let's get into it first and foremost. Just so excited. The Bare Knuckle world is talking about it. Bare Knuckle FC 19 stack card. You're fighting Cassie Rob in a really pivotal fight for like especially you, your career, and especially that female landscape in Bare Knuckle. So how did the fight come to be? It looks like you and Cassie have been really, tight on social media. So it's a little bit different. And it just how excited are you to fight again?
I'm so excited, first of all. I've been like, even when I was still healing, I was like, when can I fight next? So I've just been knocking on their door, like
healing from what?
Huh?
Healing from what?
Yeah, from what? No, my hands were like messed up, my whole everything. But I was like, even when I was in that state, I was like, I'm ready to fight. When can I fight again? And they were like, are you even healed yet? And I was like, well, I can be in like a couple weeks. And I was just being crazy. So Cassie Rob, I've seen her. I was a fan of hers. I don't want to say I was a fan of hers. And I'd seen her through the fight scene because I lived out in Albuquerque and she was around that area up in Colorado and doing her thing. And I just seen her. Like, I think she fought one of my teammates one time and I just thought she was really cool. And I followed her for the longest time. And she had hit me up after my last fight and we just talked. And I was like, if you ever want to step in there, like, we can fight. And that's like how it came to be. And she was like, I'm down. Let's go. So I hate that a lot of people sit and say that like they picked some easy fight for me or anything like that. Like it really genuinely was me saying like, I think this girl's tough because I've watched her for a long time and I want to fight her. Why not?
Right. And like, for one, you're still going in there, the square circle, bare knuckles, and there's no easy fight. There's no, it's still, the risk is still there, right? Yeah. And secondly, like, and we can kind of get into that in a little bit. I know you do want to move forward in the women's landscape of bare knuckle. I know you want to be in the main event. You want to be in the poster. Not more importantly, there's something you told me off air, and I'll say now, you want the fucking title. Like more than anything.
Title.
You want the title. So like, I know there's more to come in the future, but like sometimes, just it needs to work its way out. It would have felt rushed if it was you versus Britain, this one, or Paige or Pearl would debut against you. It would have felt rushed. So I think this kind of makes sense. And then out of this Bare Knuckle FC 19, the direction, probably big fight, I would assume, for you in the near future.
Yeah, and I think that's what the direction they're going in is. Like, a lot of people can say whatever they want about the matchups, but I think that they're giving everybody like exactly what they need for that card so that they can like watch that and say, okay, now this is how we move forward and this is how we build a women's champion. Or that's just the way it works. I think people kind of don't realize that, like, you don't want to jump the gun. You want to
like there's no reason to, and especially if there's no title on the line of Bare Knuckle FC 19, there's no reason, if it maybe just throwing it out there, hypothetical, you versus Britain, like that would be the title match. That would be the fight, one of the biggest fights in their organization's history, the first, their second female champion. That would be big. So I think this is great. How do you feel about the other two female fights on the card? They kind of made that new poster. One, Britain versus Jenny Savage, which we don't have to get into if you don't want to. And then the main event, Rachel Ostovich versus Paige Van Zandt.
I think it's awesome. I think the Paige and Rachel fight makes sense. Like, I really think it makes sense, just because of their history. But I do believe that it's kind of fucked up that they're the main event. I mean, you have somebody that's 0-1 and 0-0 in bare knuckle, and they're the main event. But I do understand the marketing side and the money side, and like people want to see two hot chicks go at it. I understand, but then there's like people like Britain or me who have been there that like I definitely think should have been higher up on the poster. So, you know, but there's nothing you get like what can I do about it other than show up and fucking fight? And my belief is like, okay, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna fight, and I'll give them a reason to never fucking put me that low on the poster again, and give Britain and just Britain's gonna do the same. She's gonna go put on a fight and make sure that they never fucking put her that low on the poster again. It's like
right. It's like, yeah, I agree. Like, it's inevitable that you two guys are the faces of the female division and on the posters and for the title. Another female we haven't kind of mentioned yet, that you were at Bare Knuckle FC 18, so I kind of want to hit on that real quick. It was great to see you out there. Great to see Keith out there. Like, one, who impressed you? You know, Pearl Gonzalez beat Singala, who you defeated in the past. Did that impress you, or did it not impress you? The Luis Palomino and Thiago Alves and Joey Beltran all, you know, won titles or retained titles. I thought that was great. Being there live, what impressed you with fighting, or what kind of someone didn't show up that you thought should have?
Jared Grant and Julian Lane. Those are the two fights that like really stuck out to me. I'm a huge fan of Uli Diaz too, so that was really awesome. Like I just admire him, and Dana and all, like they're related, like just everything about them is amazing. So I love that. But Jared Grant and Julian Lane both just like they put on a show, and it just fired me up for my fight. I was like, oh, I can't wait to go out there and fight Savage like that. It was really cool.
It was incredible. That Uli Thiago fight was one of the best fights I've seen since your fight. Like you know, you and Singala and Knucklemania was definitely the fight of the year, and that's been the second best fight of the year. It was a great fight.
Yeah, I just love Uli so much, so it was really cool. And but yeah, Jared Grant, like he's just a little stud, and Julian Lane, it was just crazy. Like the savagery in his fight was awesome. So it was really cool to be there as a spectator. Yeah,
and like so hit on that. Like saw you before the press conference, before the weigh-ins. And then that led into the press conference that you were just all of a sudden, boom, on the stage doing your thing. Boom, Bret Hart, mic drops, Kobe Bryant, Barack Obama style. And then being there, I thought it was just awesome. The casino, the feel of it, the grit of the card. I loved where it was at. The food was pretty damn good too. So how did you enjoy the weekend?
The Hard Rock was beautiful. My weekend was really rough just because of like travel delays and weather delays. So I like it. That just had me kind of sour the whole time. Because I got there like a day and a half late, and then I couldn't get into my hotel and take a fucking shower, and then had to like rush to the press conference, and it was a mess. But I had a great time. Like I thought the weigh-ins were cool. The press conference was really cool. At the fights though, I did get a little bitter because I got sat in, and it might have, I don't know what happened, but I ended up sitting in like a shitty seat, and all I could think about was like, I'm thankful to be here. I'm so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful for bare knuckle. But at the same time, these motherfucking TikTokers are sitting ringside and I'm up here. And like, it was just funny because I had a moment where they replayed my fight right before Teresa walked out. And I was like, that's me, motherfucker. And I'm sitting up here. It was just really funny because I was being a brat. And, but I was super thankful there. Like I had to sit and have a second and be like, just be thankful that you're here, and like don't be a brat. Like who do you think you are?
Right. But if I could just say, it is very true. Like you had the fight of the year, the moment probably of the year. Like I remember 2-3 years ago when Artem and Jason Knight had that fight, and that was like the first fight, and it was like the fight of the year, and like kind of put bare knuckle on the map a little bit. They had the rematch a couple months later, and it was the main event. It was this big ordeal, and like same thing, Britain and Paige was the main event that night. And I bet you we can ask both ladies, and this like real talk, and we'll talk to them off air and be like, guys, like, what was the moment of the night? Like, what people were talking about on Tuesday, Wednesday of next week? And it was your fight with Singala, and you won that fight. And it was just like this kind of this big moment, and probably the biggest moment so far for female bare knuckle as a whole. And they've had some great signings. Pearl Gonzalez is a great signing. I thought had a great win versus Sangala. You know, Paige has been a really big signing, but like at the end of the day, you got to get in the ring and fight. And you've had the best fight for the company on the female side. So it's got to rub you the wrong way a little bit. It's got to be like, oh, these TikTokers who's never fought.
Yeah, it was just like, I had this moment of like, I was like, am I being a brat and like throwing a fit for no reason? And then I was like, no, fuck that. Like these TikTokers that, you know, haven't even been in bare knuckle, or Paige, I'm sure they rolled out the red carpet for Paige. I like Paige. I don't have a problem with Paige, but I was like, what the fuck? Like it was just a what the fuck moment. And my weekend was just so shitty. Like,
you're on mute.
People there you go. People are always calling.
Hey, was that John?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that next.
But yeah, I just felt really kind of like bitter about it for like 5 minutes, and then I got over it and just was thankful to be there because the arena was freaking beautiful and it was really cool. So yeah, it
was nice. All right, so let's kind of hit on that. Jokingly said it. You know, through social media, it sounds like you connected with John Jones. How did that come to be? And is there anything future plans? Are you heading out west? Are you gonna, you know, show John how to throw a 1-2? What's going on?
No, I just thought it was cool. I had like a starstruck moment, and he had just messaged me and said like, I've become a fan of yours now, and if I ever, because I'm from Albuquerque, I lived most of my life in Albuquerque, and he was like, if you're ever back this way and you want to come to Jackson Wink, that would be really cool. So it was just really awesome and just super positive. So that just to me was like, wow. So it was really cool. Hopefully I'll get to go out there and get some training in or do something. Like I haven't been back home in like 6 years. So I really have been wanting to go back, and I think that would be an awesome opportunity. So I'm super thankful.
Oh, for sure. And they got a lot of great girls there too. So like that would be a lot of different training for you, a lot of different looks and stuff. So that'd be phenomenal. We'll kind of almost wrap it up with this. And like we talked off air about it, and I definitely want to kind of bring it more to light. Like the title, like it doesn't matter. Like you know, doesn't matter against who, the poster, all that. At the end of the day, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, you want to be bare knuckle fighting championship women's champion. Like that's at the end. Is what would put the cherry on top is you want that absolutely next. Is there someone like, hey, it makes sense if you and Britain win, do you guys go for it? If you had a perfect crystal ball, what would happen?
I in my soul like feel like if me and Britain eventually fight, then that's what it would be for. That's so hard to say. I know I'm going to be the champion. I'm going to be the fucking champion one day. Like, that's just it, period, point blank. But you never know, like, the way that things go and the way that bare knuckle is, like, we can be talking about this, and then the fights happen in 2 weeks, and everything is shaken up because however the fight card goes. But I want to be the fucking world champion. I just want everyone to know, like, Knuckle Mania wasn't the only thing. Like, it's fucking Taylor Mania. 24/7, 365, and I'm the same way every single time, every single day, and it doesn't change. I'm determined, and like the funny thing is like I want to be the people's champion, but most importantly, like the funny thing is my kids want me to bring them home a belt. Whatever my kids want, they fucking get.
Right.
And I'm gonna bring a belt home, so let's go.
That's facts. I love it. I've heard of Hulkamania. I've heard of Tebow Mania. Now it's Taylor Mania. I like that. That's got a ring to it.
Mania. Yeah. That's what we're going to name it next February.
Taylor Mania. I love it. I'm so excited. Your fight versus Cassie Rob, Bare Knuckle FC 19, July 23rd, Tampa, Florida. Can't wait. We're going to see you at the workouts, that little midweek Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see you out there in Tampa. Taylor, man, we have so much love for you. We cannot wait. Big fucking year ahead of us. Big 2021. Yes. Can't wait. And we'll talk to you real soon, all right?
All right. See you later. Thanks.
Later, T.